When did you start making websites for other kind of businesses?
Right during that period. Because we made a website for selling hoverboards. We would make a website for selling vape. We would make a website for like selling t-shirts or whatever hustle it is that we were trying at the time. We were like, oh, let's just make a website for this. And so my partner, Kyle, and I at the time, we both became really good at building websites really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we became proficient in WordPress. And I mean, we had back in the day, we were on Joomla.
Really?
One of the original sites was based on Joomla. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Wow.
Then WordPress, then Shopify, then Webflow, then GHL. Like it just kind of kept progressing of like which platform are people using and which is the cheapest for us to make quality stuff that could still make us money. Now we're at GHL.
Yeah. And for most of your customers, would you charge them like a recurring kind of monthly fee?
No, and Kyle and I were laughing about this, but we saw this. We came across some competitor.
Yeah.
I mean, 2016, 2015, 2016 probably. And this guy was charging $250 a month for like unlimited website design and updates and everything. And we're like, oh, this guy can't make any money. And in hindsight, you're like, God damn, that's the smartest move because that guy got everyone locked in, got the sites built, and then, quickly. And once we started using GHL, we quickly moved to that very quickly. And I mean, MRR skyrocketed. Like everything just skyrockets immediately because it's a better offer for the end client. Instead of a $3,000 upfront charge, it's $300 a month, and they get whatever they need. And the key here that I realized, it's not necessarily about the actual deliverable. It's about the communication. The people are paying for communication, not the website is the and. What they're paying for is the ability to know that they have a website guy or an online guy. Right. If they have problems or a question or something, they know that they can email you or text you or call you and that you'll actually respond within a reasonable amount of time. I've gotten so many clients that have had bad experiences with other agencies that just come back to us because they know that I will respond simply for that fact.
Yep.
Same product, GHL, but they come to us because they know that we'll respond.
Yep. And that you can, and if you don't have the ability to do something, you can at least direct them to someone who does,
Exactly. Which I've done.
Point them in the right direction.
Yeah. Numerous times.
And I don't think people realize like how much you can, and it's going to sound bad like when I say how much you can charge, but I know a business right now, dentist office, paying like $700 a month for their website and just keeping someone like kind of on retainer like you're describing. And yeah, some months I'm sure they have quite a bit of stuff they have to do, but not a ton. They just like to have someone who can handle all that. And business owners don't want to handle any of that. They don't want to run and it's such a little cost when you have all these other expenses, and the website is like such an important thing, right? That's how most businesses these days are getting that's their primary funnel, right?
Yeah. And I can almost guarantee that the owner of that business went through 2 or 3 people that were bad, that they then arrived on this person and was like, oh yeah, I'm okay paying a premium because they actually do respond. They give me good information. Like that's the value of being a good agency. Like for everyone out there that's trying to start an agency, that's the main thing that you need to focus on is providing good client communication. And
how do you do that? Like, is it just like, let's talk about that. Like obviously answer your emails quickly, right? As quickly as possible.
Everything needs to be responded to within 24 hours minimum. I try to do everything like within an hour because I'm crazy, but, emails should always be responded to. I try to always be the last person on the thread to respond. So that way I'm always leaving the last impression or last good impression. Sometimes I don't do it. So if you're listening to this and I didn't respond to your email, I'm sorry, but
he doesn't like you.
Yeah. No,
no, just kidding.
So yeah, email is good. I try to keep my personal phone number private, but it's so useful to have the ability to just text and respond. It's one of those, it's a fine line, and you can do this with a business phone. So it's like, now you get a business line and a personal line, and then there you go. Same kind of
True.
Same.
That's a good point.
Same idea. You can give that out, and ideally, that's what you should do, because with things like Mint Mobile now, you can get phone numbers for like $10 a month. So that's not a big issue, but just that it's the access, having the access. Are you willing to give that out? And from my experience, if you give it out and you respond, because they know that you'll respond, they're not going to hit you up all the time, because they don't want to be dealing with text messages all the time, just like anybody,
Right.
just us. And then obviously, Zoom calls and things whenever requested from people that are paying for that type of support. The one I would be careful of, and this is, I mentioned this to another colleague, is public channels of communication where they're open for anybody. And that can be tricky, because it really depends. And I think we're starting to see this with Discord, with people joining that aren't necessarily even remotely related to AI or any business or anything, like just, spammers and things like that, which just adds to support time, which adds to support costs and all the things.
Yeah, that's true. Although we haven't really had too much, to be honest. I mean, this morning we literally had someone spamming adult content on the thing, but it was dealt with really quickly, and I'm surprised we don't have a lot more of it, I guess.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, we do, and I think one thing we see overall, like, do you agree that there's a lot more agencies these days than there used to be? I mean, the market is growing, right, overall?
Yeah. I mean, when I started SiteRight and we were like a website development agency, the agency market wasn't necessarily a thing. It was more of like I do paid ads or I do SEO. The agency side was kind of the secondary thing. What I think I truly, and this is kind of ridiculous, but there's a couple influencers that released courses about how to start your own SMMA agency. Mm-hmm. Social media marketing agency. And those went crazy viral. And I think that really influenced a lot of people to start researching what this agency topic even was, and how the online hustle is not drop shipping, selling stuff or whatever. It's providing services to others through software that you know better than that other person, and different ways to do that. And a lot of that started out with social media planners, tools like there's Buffer. There's so many, all those like scheduling apps. And a lot of the early days of social media marketing was just setting that stuff up and then implementing it for a business and then charging some amount of money. And then it graduated towards the DM strategies, the social media automation strategies, where then you leveraged ManyChat to then do automations based off of opt-ins or different DM sequences or comment sequences. And that's now since graduated to basically full on GHL, which is everything under the sun of what a potential local business could want or need in terms of an online experience, because they're, again, like what you said, they're not the ones dealing with it and running it. The agency person is, and when they need something done, they just hit up the agency owner and I need this done.